Scottails, ooh. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Scottails. My name is Scott Hostetler. Let me ask you something. Does your bar bear bad booze? Well, if you're like me, you've got a home bar, and in that home bar, you've got a goodly number of bottles. Now, occasionally, a new cocktail will catch your eye on your favorite cocktail making program. And you'll go out and buy a special bottle for it. And after that, that open bottle sits in the back of your bar for a while. Is it still good? How long does it last? Will it make me sick or just lose its flavor? And if expired, how do I dispose of it? Well, in this episode of Scottails, we will answer these questions. And if you have specific questions, please just put them down in the comments section, and I'll try to answer all that I can. Now, subscribers will get preferential treatment, so if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and move to the front of the line.
Yes!
Okay. Generally, unopened bottles of hard liquor will last indefinitely, but once opened, usually liquor lasts about 1 or 2 years, sometimes as short as 6 months. It does not usually become toxic, it just loses its flavor or color. Now, use common sense. If you see something unusual, something floating in it, or some mold or something, toss it. So what makes booze go bad? A poor upbringing? No. There are usually 3 main factors. They are light, temperature, and air. If exposed to too much light, the liquor will lose its color, and color change means flavor change. Also, the temperature change can degrade an organic molecule called terpene, and that affects the flavor. And as far as air goes, air exposure leads to oxidation, and that also affects the flavor. So, if you store your unopened bottles in moderate temperatures away from direct light, they should last indefinitely. But once you've opened it, the clock begins, oxidation begins, and that's where the 6 months to 2 year time limit usually applies. But even opened, different spirits have different shelf lives, and we will examine which spirits have which shelf lives on Scottails. Oh. Hi. You know, these 2 almonds walk into a bar and they order 20 shots of tequila each. The bartender looks at him and says, "What are you guys, nuts?" So, unopened tequila, its shelf life is indefinite like everything else, but once opened, it'll remain at peak quality for about a year. After that, it is likely to decline in smell, taste, and appearance. Now, if it smells off, smells sour, toss it. Now, the Scottails you should see for tequila recipes are the margarita and the exceptional elderflower margarita. Ooh, that one's a good one. Opinions vary on Brandy's shelf life. Some people say that open bottles can last up to 3 to 4 years, while others think that it starts to lose its flavor after 1 or 2 years. The Scottails to use Brandy's for are the Brandy Alexander and the French Connection, Gene Hackman's favorite. So during the war, an Englishman, a Frenchman, and a dumb guy were captured. And the guards said to them, "Since you'll be here for 2 years at least, we want to make you comfortable. So we will give you one thing to keep you company. What would you like?" Well, the Englishman said, "Well, that's awfully sporting, old mate. I'd like some beer." So they locked him up with 2 years' supply of beer. The Frenchman said, "Oh, I could not live without my brandy." So they locked him up with 2 years' supply of brandy. Well, the dumb guy said, "Boy, oh boy, I'd have to have cigarettes." So they locked him up with 2 years worth of cigarettes. Well, wouldn't you know it, exactly 2 years later, peace is declared, and they went to open the Englishman's door, and he kind of waddled out and said, "Oh, pip, pip, cheerio." He'd drunk all his beer and had a good time. The Frenchman's door opens, and he is staggering out, going, "Vive la France," and he's inebriated. Well, they opened the dumb guy's door, and he ran out and says, "Does anybody got a light?" So, how do you dispose of expired alcohol? Well, check your local laws regarding the disposal of hard liquors. But according to Leaf TV, Shapiro.com, and CallMattioni.com, you can safely pour 2 bottles of alcohol diluted with water down your drain without harming your septic tank and or the environment. Now, wait a few weeks before trying it again with 2 more bottles, but you can do that if you have to. And remember to recycle your bottles. Well, remember what we say here at Scottails, drink up, because it's almost closing time somewhere.